Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? My name is Sarah Elizabeth, and I am the conscious content creator for the Healer's Nest. I am allowing one more minute before we get started in this complimentary masterclass. Thank you so much for everyone for taking the time and energy to devote to your spiritual development. It is sincerely an honor and privilege to be in your space and to teach you a path that you can make your own, and giving you something that I wish I had in the beginning. So we're going to get started in just 1 minute. To begin this conversation, let's see who's here, because I'm new to this platform. So if you don't mind, just, pop in, say hello. Can you guys hear me? Let's start there. Can you hear me? This is being recorded via YouTube live on an unlisted link, because it will be going up into the safe container that I have designed for you guys. All right, so let's start. Y'all don't be shy. Can you guys hear me? And there should be a, okay, cool. You can hear me. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so I'm not 100% what you guys can see on your end. I believe there is a message. Who can see your messages, everyone? There's a message thing, because I really do want to make this as engaging as possible. So there should be like a chat button, because what is happening now, chat is disabled. Okay, so give me a moment. So chat is disabled. Show. What's up, Jenny? Jenny and the Jets. I wonder if I can do it like this. I told you guys I am manifesting a back office to help me with this stuff, because I know you guys can chat on here. So let me see if I can do it right here. Interesting. Well, that's a bummer. I don't want to waste any more of your time, but I really don't know how to turn on the chat. Panelists can chat with everyone. Is it on now? Hello, Sharon. Hello, Shacarol. What's up, girl? Is the chat turned on? Entities can chat with no one, with host and okay, wait, with everyone. All right, now try it. Can we chat? Because yes, all right, it's on. We did it. You see how I shifted that real quick, because I'm learning as I grow, and I'm really breaking the habit of not and can't. So spirit was just like, no, we are manifesting people to help us grow through this and to do the back office. And then ta-da. All right, awesome. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Yeah, if everybody wants just to introduce themselves real quick, just say, hi, my name is, and this is my favorite food, or this is where I live, whatever you want to do. All right, in the navigation menu. And so I guess we have our back office person hired. You are hired, ma'am. All right, so I'm assuming since this is on YouTube recording, I don't have to record this. All right, so let me go here and make sure I got the right window. Thank you for your patience. We're going to present. Mm-hmm. All righty, here we go. Welcome to the Healer's Nest. Again, my name is Sarah Elizabeth, and I'm the conscious content creator for the Healer's Nest. I am a quantum Reiki master, a self-published author, a Kundalini meditation, Vinyasa yoga teacher, and podcast host. And I am also a practicing plant medicine woman / apprentice. And what I do, I teach women how to heal themselves through movement, through energy, and through plant medicine. What has been coming up for me in the past couple weeks is one of my gifts of being able to hold space, and that is something that I'm really good at, and that is something that I have learned through my own practice. And so while I was sitting down and figuring out what are some of the things that I wish I had on the spiritual awakening or my healing journey, and one of those things was just really creating a structured, fluid path that I can follow, and without the BS included. So my intention is to build on this masterclass and then pulling back the artichoke leaves to get to the heart center. I really feel like that's really important, because what I'm noticing is a lot of people that are healers and dealers and teachers and whatever, they're really giving people step 44 instead of step 1. And I really think that is reckless. I feel that is irresponsible. We really need to cultivate a practice and ancient discipline and build on that, because it's that foundation that's really going to carry you through some really turbulent times, because you will be growing through turbulent times during your spiritual awakening or your healing or your manifestation or whatever the case may be, especially if you are brand new to healing yourself. You really need a strong foundation to lean on. And that's what I'm going to be teaching and sharing with you today. For transparency, I do not know how to play the flute. That's for the gram. So there's that. Okay. If you're brand new to the Healer's Nest, down below, I have some beautiful outlets that you can also connect and plug into. One of my ethos when building the Healer's Nest is, how can I eradicate excuses? How can I remove barriers to people's healing? And that is really through creating content through my YouTube channel, through my podcast, through my TikTok, through my Instagram, through Amazon, which I have 2 books on there. And then you will have resources that are readily accessible, so you don't have to feel stuck, so you don't have to feel stagnant. I really feel like when we create an opportunity that allows freedom for more opportunities to start, to go deeper, or to find the miracle that you're seeking. Do you know what I'm saying? So be sure to plug into some of those things, and then I'll be showing you guys something else that is accessible that you guys can plug into. And I really feel like that's going to be like the master solution, in my opinion. All right. All right. So I want to talk about my intention with you, ladies and gents. If we have any gentlemen here, I want to share my intention with you, just so you can have an understanding of why I'm here and where I'm coming from, and know and understand that it is my intention to hold the highest vibration of love and light, truth and wisdom. And so you guys can be able to feel safer in this container, not only in the healer's nest, but also in yourself. It is my intention to teach you how to feel safe in your divine container space and with the divine. I'm really ingraining something that is lacking that my spiritual teachers and mentors gave to me. And that's just not the wisdom and the information. It is the know-how. How do I hold space? How do I ask the questions? How do I move? How do I integrate? And how can I strengthen my relationship with the divine of my own understanding, or of your own understanding? I am a Kundalini yoga practitioner and teacher. So a lot of my foundation has started in that. We're now what's called the Piscean age. Before the Piscean age, we were in the age of Aquarius, where people were waking up and acquiring information. And that was the rise in the 60s all the way up until 2015 or 17, I believe. But it was a rise of the gurus. It was the rise of the spiritual teachers, which majority of them were men. And I'm not just saying with men in particular, it can happen to a woman too. These men found themselves in a great deal of power, and they abused that power. So that means the ego stepped in, and I believe they started off with good intentions, but if you don't keep that ego in check, you will wreck yourself real freaking quick. So the ego got in, and instead of just giving information away or reciprocation, because there needs to be reciprocation for the master and the student, right? But it became into the energetics of, oh, this is my guru, this is my teacher, and I can only be healed or know whatever, insert your neurosis right here. I'm whole because I have a guru. Do you see what I'm saying? It was really creating the energy of craving and wanting to look a certain way, wanting to be a certain way, and things of that nature. Now, don't get me wrong, there was some wisdom, like people did, have some wits about themselves, but now we're breaking the Aquarian age, where in my opinion, there is no guru. You are the guru. Everybody's the guru. We just have to be able to have the understanding and know how to tap into that. So the age of the Aquarius was all about information and gurus and teachers, kind of like a hierarchy kind of deal, right? Now we're in the Piscean age, where we're dealing with another collective awakening. But instead of just collecting information and depending on a guru to heal you, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, we are now in the age of embodiment. Now I have the information. How can I embody that? And my spiritual teachers were ahead of the game with the Piscean age, and they nailed, integrated these divine teachings inside of me so I can depend on myself, depend on my inner guru, and allow that in a way to push that energy out and allow that energy in that aura to call people in that's in alignment, that's really seeking and that's really committed. You get your lesson, and then I'm going to push you out the nest. You see what I'm saying? So this masterclass is dedicated to Guru Jagat, who's with me right now in the spiritual realm. She really taught me how to be myself and depend on myself, and just let my freak flag fly. And so I call her energy into this space to flow through me and flow through everyone so she can share her spunky wisdom with all of us. And I just dedicate this class to her. Okay. It is my intention to give you a path to follow and to make your own. I see you as myself, and we're all trying to get to that high mountain of our own understanding and our own intentions and our own goals. However, there are many paths to get to that same mountain. And it's my intention to share that path with you so you can feel confirmed, because the path has already been revealed. We have been conditioned to go against our natural grain. We have been taught how to ignore that innate wisdom inside of us, especially as women. So it's my intention to help you feel confirmed in what you already know and feel, and to make it your own. My intention is to be authentic and true to myself. I am a neurodivergent. That means I think I'm diagnosed with ADHD. So we're going to move fast. Not only that, we're going to move fast, but we're also going to move slow. I don't know, it's just something inside of me that I found balance in. And being able to see things and reconstruct things that are bite-sized, that you can to really deeper understand, and to be able to present that to you is just from a different perspective. All right. I'm a manifestor generator. That means that I look at a manifestor generator energy as I am an octopus and I have 8 tentacles. So I'm able to manipulate and do things all at once. So how that will show up in its presentation, I may bounce back to back to back to ideas. Okay. But I'm really trying to, work on that and be focused on that, because I will talk about it all. Okay. I've been dying to have an intellectual, deep conversation, but also to be able to teach you guys something new. And I don't know if this is something new to you guys, but anyway. And to be myself, I'm wearing my comfy safety blanket, my purple robe. Some of you, if you've been with the Healer's Nest for a long time, you already know what the robe represents. And to me, the F word is sacred. It really, really, really is. If you don't like the F word, please let me know in the chat section. I will respect your energy and your boundaries. All right. My intention is to be your down to earth spiritual mentor and the compass to your own inner star. By definition, a mentor is an experienced or trusted advisor, someone who may share information about his or her own career or spiritual path, as well provide guidance, motivation, emotional support, and role modeling. A mentor, it may help with exploring new ideas that provide solutions, liberation, and responsibility. My intention is not to create followers. My intention is to authentically teach the seer, the seeker, hold you accountable to that work, ask probing questions, and then when you're not ready, become a teacher to share this message on your own, because all of you, I don't care what you say, all of you carry divine medicine within your container, and it's not to be taken to the grave with you. It is meant to be shared with other people. All right, so this is your turn, because once again, this is all about community and this is all about intention. Now that you know about my intention and you see me cry, oh my gosh, who am I? I ain't no bitch. So that's why I'm like, all right. What is your intention? What do you wish to feel during this masterclass? What do you wish to learn in this masterclass? And what do you wish to experience? So I'm going to give you about 90 seconds you can write it down in your journal, or you could put it into the chat. Right, is it about 15 more seconds? Alrighty, so now that everybody has their intention, let's talk about boundaries. As a manifestor generator, I believe for a manifestor generator and for a generator, it is our duties to really dig deep into our boundaries and communicate those boundaries with everybody. In hindsight, when we communicate our boundaries, we're really teaching others around us to communicate their boundaries too. There is a lack of effective communication. And in this Piscean age, it's not all about, doing the inner work and healing and feeling better. It's about really getting fucking clear on what you are going to allow and what you're not going to allow, and effectively communicating that in your own authentic way. And that inspires others to dig deep and to communicate effectively also, because this is how we're going to, with no shade or no, oh, you think that, without the negative thinking stories that we tell ourselves or project onto other people. It's not about that. It's all about alignment. And I really encourage you to get serious about yourself and what you allow and don't allow, so you can manifest the alignment that you are divinely entitled to. So the boundaries that I have in place: do not give advice in the chat. Please, you are here for your own expansion and for your own healing. Do not get sidetracked with somebody else's journey, dharma, and please focus on yourself. This boundary is teaching you how to pull your energy in and keep it into your own container, and simply being a witness and praying for that person instead of intervening, unless the divine instructs you to do so. I will not be answering questions due to time constraints. There will be an opportunity to ask questions and receive support at the end of this masterclass. All right. And please, no trauma dumping. We do connect through storytelling that invites us into a healing, invites a healing energy into the container. Trauma dumping is an act of dumping stagnant and traumatic energy into a space. So I like to explore that and share that just a little bit more. There's two different types of people. A person who is either a toe dipper, or a person that knows what they need to be doing, but they don't do it because they have not mastered it. And so they hold all of that energy in their body. And the first chance that they get, where they feel safe in somebody else's energy, they just share all of that and put it into the space. And it makes the space cloudy. And then the person walks off feeling better. And that's not fair. Okay. I'm just keeping it real. That's not fair. In hindsight, now let me back up for just a second. If that happens to be you, and you just need someone to hold space for you so you could just let it out, there's an opportunity for that. There is an opportunity for that. I do hold space. I do it during quantum Reiki sessions, intuitive sessions. So if that's you right now, there's a solution. Then there's a second type of person where they have, in my opinion, evolved or mastered holding space for themselves. And the energy is radically different because they are sharing wisdom from their own trauma in a way that invites liberation, curiosity, radiance, and inspiration. Okay, there's a huge difference. And so as someone who has mastered holding space, they know how to hold space and share wisdom in a way that is beautiful, and everybody's being reciprocated and respected. Does that make sense? So this is an infringement of my energy and the energy of this space. And in hindsight, it is a form of trauma bonding. Because the first story we tell everybody is, oh, my childhood trauma survivor. And, my mom and dad and blah, 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 blah. Well, 99.9% of the time, you're going to run into the person that says, oh my gosh, me too. And that is a false energetic relationship, because you're not knowing who the authentic person is. you know their trauma story, and so that's what you connect with, and that's a dangerous situation right there. And I would love to talk more about that. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so I talked about my boundaries, and I would love to hear about your boundaries, because this is a reciprocated relationship. This is a community. What are you going to allow, and what are you not allowing? I really do honor and respect your time, energy, and space. And as a neurodivergent, I feel like this is the neurodivergent part. I love boundaries. I love being put into my place, because it's not all about me. It's all about us. Okay. It's about mutual respect. So, what are your boundaries? All right, so we're gonna do like 30 more seconds. My bad. And if anybody doesn't have any, that's completely fine too. You could just be like, note it, got it. All right, so we're gonna move on. Oops. All right, so once we got clear on all of that jazz, let's open up energetic space. This is going, so we are moving. This is where we're moving fast, and this is where we're moving slow, because it is my intention to provide a experience that you can feel, that you know that is real, so you can find the inspiration to show up to yourself in your own sacred way. Okay, so everybody, please get into a comfortable position. All right. And we're going to begin by rubbing our thighs. And what this is doing, this is waking up our creative energy into the thighs. And you can beat them right here. All right. Opening up that root chakra, that sacral, and that solar plexus. And when we are opening and stimulating these chakra systems within our body, the intention is not to blow them wide open. It's just to awaken them and stimulate them, and to let them know that, hey, I see you, I feel you. All right. So if you just want to rub your body, really connecting your body to your breath. So let's all take a deep breath in, holding that breath and coming into a still movement, dropping the shoulders, opening the chest, expanding the lungs, and let's do it. Take a deep breath in again. So it's 2 breaths. You can have your eyes open or closed. And then we're going to exhale out through our mouths. Bringing the belly button in and up if you're able. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale out. Bringing our hands into Prayer Mudra, or you can have your hands facing up to receive. Imagine, feel, sense, or feel a beautiful white light in the middle of your brow. Or if any other color comes to your mind, that's completely fine. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe that light into our heart center. And then pushing that light all the way down into our solar, our sacral, our root, and into Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia, we ask for your permission to connect to your sacred love and understanding, and to connect our energy cords into your loving energy. We thank you in advance for transmuting any stagnant energy within our body that no longer serves us. Take a deep breath in, pulling that light up into the root chakra, into the sacral, into the solar, the heart, the throat, your third eye, and into your crown. And exhaling out. Returning to your normal breath. Feeling a slight shift in your energy and in the container around you. We call upon the Divine Father of the most highest crystalline light into this space. We ask that you teach us to see things from a higher perspective, to show us the wisdom that we need to know and understand. We call upon and activate and call in the energies of Mother Gaia, Pachamama, into this space. Teach us how to walk this earth. Teach us to be present with all of you and God's beings. Thank you for recognizing us. Thank you for creating this time and space with us. Thank you for your resources. Thank you for your time. We ask that Archangel Michael to come into this space to protect our energies and the energetic energies of the intranet and around our houses, our communities, and throughout the whole entire world. We ask with each and everyone's consent, when they feel ready, to remove any energetic cords or any low stagnant vibrations that do not serve us or are not in alignment for us. And we just ask that with ease, you take it away and transmute it into the highest, the most highest divine love and light, and for the highest will that God and Pachamama has. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And it is so. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, pushing those palms together, installing those seeds of intentions, gratitude, protection, wisdom, and prayer into your heart chakra. And then exhaling out, dropping those hands. And if you have your eyes closed, you can open them now. So the first thing in holding energetic space for yourself is to ask for help. Ask for guidance from the forces, the divine forces that you cannot see. Ask for help that lives within your container that you have access to. And we do that by first connecting to our breath. And if you want to, love on your body, to wake up your body, hold your body, to get into the body, to awaken and stimulate all the chakras within the system, do that. We start off with prayer. What is the highest good for me, and what is the highest good for all? First and foremost, we have to protect our energy, and we have to protect our space. And I know some people say this, but I just really can't stress enough that we don't only ask for protection for ourselves, but we ask for protection over everybody in our house, everybody in our community, everybody on this path. Totally optional. You can totally make this about you, okay? But I notice when we think about the collective with the purest intention and vibration, then shit happens. And I'm with it. And gratitude, give gratitude towards yourself, the divine, and to Mother Earth, your ancestors, at the highest vibration of love and light, and to your resources, to this time, to this space. So we always open up energetic space with those 4 things. Why is holding space important? I want to go ahead and preface with this. Let me know if you are brand spanking new to this whole spirituality healing thing. This is really, really important to understand, especially if you are brand new. If you have suppressed energetic trauma and you were not taught how to hold space for that, and you know that it needs to come out of the body, but you do not feel safe doing so, please, I invite you to work with a healer, a therapist, or a space holder to help you come back, to help you feel safe, so you can really give birth and process and relinquish that energy so it can be transmuted. All right. Do not ever feel like you have to do this alone. Okay. Again, I created resources such as this so you can have the tools. And that means if you've been dabbling and you've got too much information and you're confused, my intention is to give you a path for you to practice. So if you feel safe, do that. I will say, if you are dealing with heavy, let's say you dabbled in healing before, but you got to do some deeper work, and that revolves around, traumatic energy. Please write this down. I forgot to put it in. It's coming through and it's really, really important. Please, before you begin, after you open up your space, think about a safe space in your body. So take a few moments and think about a safe scenery or a safe word. What brings you safety? What brings you back if you go too far out there? For me, I envision myself in it's kind of like a wheat field with trees, and another place that I have is like Greece, Santorini, Greece, and those places really do make me feel safe. So how that would work is you would connect, you really use your imagination. Your imagination is a source of your intuition to flow through. So really imagine the space, feel the grass, smell the flowers, drink the drink, walk through the forest. Really put yourself in that space so you know what safety feels like in your body. Then you will start doing the work to unpack and heal. And if the emotion, the feeling just gets a little too much, and you're doing the best you can, you're supposed to run in, but you're just not ready, and you feel comfortable getting what you got now, for my safety and for my mental health, I'm going to go back into the woods. Breathe in the trees. Feel the grass. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't ever want to tell someone to, I'm going to tell you to go straight for it, but in a setting where, okay, if it becomes too much, let's go back to the safe space. Okay. Does that make sense for everybody? Please let me know. I really feel like, I'm telling you, y'all better watch out for these internet shamans because they are tripping. Like I'm a trauma informed. I have certifications. I've studied my craft, and to see some of the information put out there, I'm like, whoa, you are hurting people, sir, ma'am. All right. So why holding space, energetic space is important. It is a remembrance of a ancient discipline. Just imagine if you didn't have a computer or a cell phone, what would you be doing? What would you be doing? Like probably reading a book or writing your journal, creating, doing something, right? I'm going to call it how I see it. We have really stepped away from a ancient discipline of our own understanding. Holding space is a ancient discipline. So you can figure yourself out, get clear, and talk to the divine of your own understanding. And no, you don't have to do this every single day. To me, holding space is like a therapy session. Are you going to therapy every day? I hope not. That's exhausting, but when you feel activated or triggered, or if you got to do some shadow work, don't ask me about shadow work because I have not figured that piece out. I just know how to do it for myself. I'm just not ready to teach it yet because there's different ways you can go about it. And I just have my own unique way. And I don't know if it's like productive, but anyway, it's productive for me. Anyway, but this is an ancient discipline, and you can look at this as a ceremony. You're going into ceremony with God, with yourself. Okay. You strengthen your connection to the divine. So when you strengthen your connection to the divine, you are strengthening your connection to yourself too. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are like, I don't trust myself. I don't know myself. It's first, we are not practicing a discipline to know yourself. Okay. So that's why holding energetic space is important. You become your own healer. I don't care what anybody tells you. They cannot heal you. They cannot heal you. God can heal you, and God lives inside of you. Therefore, you are your own healer. And you have to return to an ancient discipline or a ceremony to hold space for yourself, or to invite someone to hold space for you. You get to expand your consciousness. Okay, so how do I know if I'm getting divine wisdom or not? Here's an example of getting non-divine guidance in an energetic space. I'm triggered and I'm activated. And what should I do? What is this trying to teach me? I don't fight. I don't argue. I just hit that bitch with a bottle. That's a really good idea. I'm going to go fuck her up. That is not divine guidance. That is a clear telltale indication that that's not right, because it shouldn't hype you up to get you more in trouble, kind of. It shouldn't feel like you're pointing the finger at somebody else. It's their fault. It's their fault. It shouldn't bring even more separation, which that's a whole conversation in itself. And it shouldn't make you feel angry. It shouldn't make you feel vindictive. It shouldn't make you feel like, well, I'm better than you because yada, 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 yada. The ego loves spirituality. That is his or her favorite subject. And you really have to know yourself, the spirit and the ego, so you can know when you're in alignment or out of alignment, right? So what does it feel like when I am in spirit? It kind of feels just like this flow, and you will have wisdom come through you that you know it's not your own. And the ego will tell you, well, that's just taking the high road. That's just, turning the other cheek. What has turning the other cheek gotten you? That's a distraction, because God is love. Love is God. You are love. And that's that the solutions will bring you peace, unity, liberation, empowerment, and clarity for what you want and what you don't want. And you are in spirit when it has nothing to do with the other person, unless there is something that you need to take responsibility for, like reacting. Okay. So, going back to expanding your consciousness, you expand your consciousness because you are sitting with spirit and you're getting this divine wisdom that just makes sense. And then I have some spiritual texts with me that really supports me, especially through growing times. And one of those spiritual texts is the Course of Miracles. Has anybody heard of the Course of Miracles? Course of Miracles. I'm going to start teaching Course of Miracles, because if it wasn't for the Course of Miracles, I would be a spiritual gangster, like in prison, because I will be about that life. I don't care. Okay. All right. You get to master your own energetics. Okay. You get to master your own energetics. And that is so important, because you know what anger feels like in a lower vibration, and you know what anger feels like being in neutral. Okay. And you learn how to transmute that, embody that, integrate that in a way where you're not being energetically manipulated by everybody else. Do you see what I'm saying? You get to learn to hold space for others. So I want to make this very clear. When you hold space for yourself, and this takes dedication and practice and mastering, when you have mastered holding space for yourself, when you commit to it and you just get certain keywords or wisdom or reminders through a book or through a spiritual teacher that a person is just on their path. And I need to know and understand, am I just stepping in so I can save this person from their suffering? Or am I just holding space just to allow this person to be? Because really holding space is all about allowing and not restricting and not, infringing. It's just about allowing. And when you do step into a role, we're all space holders, but there comes with a separate responsibility and information that you need to know when it comes to holding space for others, right? You'll know the basics, you'll master the basics, it will come to you. But there's other things like, being trauma informed and, I took a class. I am a suicidal text counselor. So I get a lot of my space holding techniques from that masterclass. Beautiful masterclass. And it just really teaches you how to hold space for other people, right? So I say that because I don't want you to get like 3 practices in and be like, oh, I've mastered this, let me go do it for somebody else. That means you need to keep practicing because it will come to you. I promise. What I notice is when people reach a new certain of excitement in their spiritual journey, they want to raw and take it to everybody else. I used to be one of those people. No boo-boo. I'm telling you, keep that in, because you have given enough to everybody else. It's time to give to yourself, to gain wisdom and share with others, and to learn to trust yourself. All right, so we're going to talk about some sutras. I'm going to check the chat real quick. Awesome. We're going to talk about some sutras to live by when holding space for yourself. And sutras are short verses that serve as a guide to attain wisdom and self-realization through yoga. I am a yoga teacher, and yeah, asanas are cute, and asanas is the physical aspect of it, but I mostly enjoy the pranayama and the ancient wisdom that goes behind being a yoga teacher. Yoga means that you are in union with yourself and with God, okay? And when you hold space, you are not only healing, but you're also becoming united with the divine force. So here's some really important things that you guys need to take with you when holding space. And the first and very foremost important thing is non-judgment. Non-judgment. You cannot be beating yourself up for things that happened. I'm really curious what your perspective is when you fuck up. Is it because you are a bad person? Is it because you should have known better? Is it because, like we judge ourselves so much, and when we start judging ourselves, we start attacking ourselves, and then we start attacking our spirit. Everybody's out here, oh, I'm being attacked. Well, are you doing it to yourself? And nobody wants to answer that question because we're so conditioned to blaming our childhood trauma and blaming the narcissist and blaming. I'm going to go ahead and keep it real with you right now. Being a spiritualist is taking responsibility. Taking responsibility is a spiritual act. Okay? It is a spiritual act. It's like the number one thing in spiritual activism. Okay? So we really need to start practice non-judgment. How does judgment show up for you when you're trying to heal? How does it show up for you? What is the story that you're telling yourself? Is it real? When you go on a spiritual awakening, or when you start healing, or when you start expanding your consciousness, do you think you're going to learn through rainbows and fairy tales? Do you think the universe is just going to be like, oh, your precious child, here's your spiritual lesson? None of us would listen, because we're all hard-headed and we have been beaten into being beaten. So we have to do things the hard way, because that's what we've been conditioned to do. So the point of that is, in order to have a breakthrough, we have to have a breakdown. And it's just part of the journey, man. And you have two choices. You can sit there and you can judge the shit out of yourself and hate yourself and berate yourself and just tear yourself apart. Or you can practice non-judgment. And non-judgment, that practice looks like just noticing that story, noticing that thought. I release that judgment. And I invite divine wisdom. You constantly have to coach yourself. You're training your subconscious mind into correct divine healing. Does that make sense? Non-striving. I think this is going to answer a question for someone. Whenever we step into a holding space or a meditation space, a ceremony space, you have to practice non-striving. Where are you going? Where are you going? Because wherever you're going, it's going to take a really long time. And if you think that you're going to show up once or twice and arrive at that destination, I'm going to go ahead and let you know something. The spiritual realm is way smarter than the physical body. It is way smarter than the ego. They're going to make you work for it. How committed are you? What is really your intention here? So when we practice non-striving, yes, it's important that we have intentions. We have to, we have to bring that energy in for what we want. And, we set these high expectations for intentions. Well, I want to do, my intention is to do this and this and this and this and this and that. Now, eventually you'll reach that level, but the intention just needs to be, what do I wish to experience? What do I wish to learn? What do I wish to feel? And keep it simple. And not go out there and look for it and just sit there waiting for it because you're blocking it, just waiting for it. You have to practice non-striving, and non-striving to me is just simply being and allowing, breathing and allowing. Not to sprint before we walk. Do you know what I'm saying? With non-striving, I also want to mention the emotional skill, the emotional guidance skill. And I use the emotional guidance skill in a different masterclass, which will be following up after this. And that is healing the judgment through healing the story that we tell ourselves. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be next month. So anyway, with non-striving, a lot of us have this intention. Well, I want to feel better now. I want to get the wisdom now. And what we're doing, we're not honoring our innate internal emotional guidance system. So at the bottom, do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's by Abraham Hicks. At the bottom is fear, guilt, shame, acceptance, neutrality, joy, bliss, blah, 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 blah. So a lot of us start at fear, and a lot of us want to jump to unconditional love. However, the divine really wants you to sit at shame for a minute. Can you work through shame? Can you, because the goal is to work up the guidance system, not to collect $200 and pass go. Feel me? You feel me? So there's nothing wrong when you step into your container. Right now, I feel fear. Okay. I love and accept you. We'll talk about acceptance in a minute. 10 minutes passed by. Now I'm feeling shame. Okay, well, shit, I'm getting somewhere. I don't feel fear anymore. So what is this shame trying to teach me? God, teach me what this shame is about. How am I holding on to shame? It's all about asking those questions, right? Then you start moving up to neutrality and acceptance. And then if you continue the path, unconditional love, and I'm going to hopefully bring you guys there, right? But we can't just get this all in one sitting. All right. If you can, yeah, that would be great. But I don't want you to sit there and beat yourself up if you didn't get to a certain place that you wanted to get to. Your body can only handle so much. Your brain can only handle so much. You have to respect that. Take what you got, be grateful for it, and move on and make a date with yourself or listen to the divine to continue, right? So patience, give yourself patience. I think this ties in very well with what we're talking about. Give yourself patience. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the divine. We are living in an instant gratification where we want stuff now. No. And, on this spiritual existence, we're remembering the basics, which is patience. And if you can't sit there with yourself for more than 10 minutes, and I'm going to keep it even realer, without a fucking buffer, we've got some work to do. Because when we hold space for ourselves, not only that, this holding space thing is really about looking at yourself in the mirror and getting really honest with yourself. Am I really doing the things that I say that I'm doing? Am I practicing patience right now? No. Why is that? Because I have high expectations. It's a conversation, man. It's a conversation. And acceptance, this ties into what we're talking about. Really accepting yourself and loving yourself regardless. Okay, I feel shame right now. I see you, I feel you, shame, and I love and I accept you, and I love and accept myself. I invite the divine wisdom to show me what this shame is all about. Okay, when we accept things as they are, it doesn't mean that I'm satisfied with this. It simply means that I'm taking things like this is just the way that it is right now. It is what it is. It's neutrality. It's about experiencing one end and then experiencing the drastic of the other, and then coming back into acceptance and neutrality. Okay, balance. Trust that you know what you're doing. You trust that you know how to do it, and really trust in the divine that's giving you this beautiful wisdom and that's coming through you. Whether it's just one word, whether it's a page. And I just want to say, whatever wisdom that does come through, it's all about, it should bring no harm to yourself or to no one. I think that should be spiritual guidance. Is it's true when it brings no harm to myself or to no one. All right, so what do you need to hold space? Of course, you need you, and you need a safe or sacred space. Does anybody have a safe or sacred space? And you can have more than one. And I think it's really important that you have like a main hub, because it's going to be really interesting where you, one time I was at a coffee shop, and I was on the verge of a panic attack. I left that coffee shop and I got in my car, and I just remember just feeling this really heavy, big emotion. And I was in the car, and of course I'm looking for things for me to feel better, my phone, a cigarette, a joint, a person, something. And you really pay attention to that energy. Like, the first thing that you're gonna do when you experience a heavy emotion is run out and grab something. So once I noticed that's what I was doing, and I'm mastering holding space because I've been doing it. So now the universe is like, all right, let's give her a spiritual assignment at the coffee shop. So I noticed I'm pulling out, I'm reaching. And I was like, no, I don't want to reach. I don't want to do those things, because I know and believe and understand that everything that I need is inside of me. And I put my hands on my chest and I close my eyes and I breathe into that. And I'm just like, dude, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And breathe and just, you're coaching yourself through it. And I'm inviting the divine and we're moving through. And I can't remember what that anxiety was about. It was profound. I just forgotten. So anyway, so your safe space can be anywhere, but I do believe that you need to have a master space. A journal, pen, and water, and healing frequencies. In the hub, I do have a Spotify playlist and a YouTube list of healing frequencies that I love, trust, and adore. And these are just optional things: rose quartz, selenite. I wonder, is Allie, are you on here? What are some essential oils? Orange is coming up for me. A candle, and this candle can help you focus your dritsi. That's a really good meditative practice. And you can use incense, not sage, unless you are an indigenous person. Use incense or rosemary or lavender or roses. Pine is not pine. Is it pine? Cedar. Cedar is a really, really good one to cleanse space. Okay. I cannot wait to talk about this whole sage pandemic because it's reckless. I study the medicinal arts. And so these people are keeping me in check. And I feel like part of that is part of my responsibility too, but that's not here or there. All right, so let's do this in real time. And I invite you to pick an experience that you need guidance in, that you need healing, clarity. Think of an emotion that you have been carrying, think about a symptom that's been nagging you, anxiety, or something that has been depressing you. Now, let's keep it simple, okay? Let's not dive deep. We don't have too much time for that. Okay. All right. So if everybody has something, and you don't have to do this either. You don't have to do this either. Okay. I just wanted to, invite you to do this in real time since you have somebody helping you through this. Okay. Does everybody have their thing? All right, so we're going to call in your spiritual team. And that's something that we did already. We already opened up our space, but here's how you can do it for yourself. Bring safety into the body, and you can do that through breath work and or intuitive movement. So this goes back to, because girl, I already had all of this. I already knew all the questions. The common questions. And that's why I got you. But if anything else further than that, then we have to take this show somewhere else. Anyway, I know this thing is not dead already. It is. All right. So here's a pathway prayer that you can use for yourself. And if you want to take a screenshot, you can. I will say, since this is of my own work, I have crafted this for the student, and then I'm going to craft something for the spiritual leaders in our community. This work is copyrighted, so you cannot share this content without my permission first. And if you would like me to teach this masterclass for you, if you would like to use my work, I invite you to email me at Saare, Saare, Elizabeth, at gmail.com. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is call in your spiritual team. And here is a beautiful pathway that you can use. I call upon and invite the presence of the Holy Spirit, of the divine light, love, and understanding. I call upon Christ consciousness to help me see this experience from a higher perspective. That's what we're doing. We're asking something bigger, better, and wiser that lives within us to flow through us, to see things from a higher perspective. And while I'm saying this, there's been all this conversation about the third eye. Oh, the third eye, third eye. I can see things. Oh, I'm going to blow my third wide open to see things. Yeah, seeing colors and shit, that's cool. But what awakening your third eye is pulling the crown energy, which is Christ's energy, into your third eye. It is a shift. See things from a higher perspective. It's like being able to look at the whole thing instead of just a one-sided thing. Okay? It's not about, this cool mystic stuff, but that's not what it's about, guys. It's about navigating this physical plane as spiritual beings and using our gifts in a way that holds us accountable, responsible, and true divine examples of the divine. You can fight me on that. I got receipts, okay? Teach me to love, and as to love, I give gratitude in advance for guiding me, teaching me, and protecting me. And I wanted to include some of my favorite spiritual homies into this space. Lady Kuan Yin, who is the goddess of compassion, Saint Germain, and Lady Portia. And Saint Germain is he is the governor over humanity. And Lady Portia is, I think, humanity and justice. And Lady Portia is freedom and opportunity. Saint Germain and Lady Portia is a beautiful twin flame energy to use for healing. And they are a beautiful violet and white light. It is called the violet flame. I use it in all of my work, just calling it and seeing it. They are here. Such beautiful energy to work with. Ultimate healing, very healing. Archangel Michael for protection and releasing energetic cords. So with this masterclass, it comes with a PDF that goes through all of this. It's kind of like the old version. This is the upgraded version, but they still say the same information. But what makes the PDF different, there's more journal prompts, and there is a teaching on how to release energetic cords the right way. And that will be behind the membership, okay? Archangel Gabriel for communication and God's message. That's what he's used for. So, God speaks to us in very different ways, but if you need some words, Archangel Gabriel is your go-to. Just a little thing that Archangel Gabriel is gender fluid. And then we have Archangel Raphael, who is also gender fluid, but he mostly appears as masculine energy, and that is for divine healing. If you pair Archangel Raphael and Archangel Metatron together, it's like healing on crack. And Archangel Metatron, he's really good for healing, but he's really, really, really good for spiritual expansion, spiritual gifts and expanding that area, and also manifestation. So I just channeled that for you guys. He was like, by the way, all right. So once you called in your spiritual team, and it could be your ancestors of the highest, most divine light and crystalline energy, bring awareness. So, this is where your journal comes in. Bring awareness to what you are experiencing, all of it, the good and the bad. What I noticed in my own personal experience and working with clients is that they feel ashamed for feeling a certain type of way. Okay, it is okay to feel. Okay, so I'm going to use myself as an example. When I first started holding space for myself, it was in Germany. Okay, and I'm very grateful to this particular teacher or mentor that supported me through this time to help me flow through this. When I started healing the relationship between me and one of my children, I started to notice that I was really suppressing how I was feeling about the whole thing because I didn't want to be perceived as a bad mother. I didn't want to be perceived as a bad person. What kind of person or mother especially thinks these types of thoughts about their kids? And my mentor told me, well, what if you just be honest? Just be honest with everything, how you're feeling. Write it down. Nobody has to see it. Write it down. And I wrote down every single despicable thing that was upsetting me and that was triggering me and how it made me feel and how I just didn't understand and all of these things. And once I got it out, I'll never forget this day. Once I got it out, I felt so much better because it was no longer in my body. It was no longer in my body because I'm no longer that means I don't have to project that onto this innocent child. I learned that God told me, Sarah, this child is your spiritual lesson. This child is triggering you in all the ways that your parents triggered, or that you triggered their parents or your parents. And now it's coming up for you because you need to start healing how you parent these kids. And it's at no fault of your own, but you're going to have, these are the things that you need to work on. This kid is your mirror, your trigger for what you lack as a parent. And you need to work on this and this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would have never got to that liberation and that safety and that confirmation. Well, I wasn't confirming because, if I was not honestly true to myself. Okay. And so bring awareness to what you are feeling. But let's be mindful here. Let's be conscious. I feel anxious. I feel angry. I feel betrayed. I feel unheard. I feel scared. Insert your thing here. If you are growing with this practice with me, how do you feel about this particular experience or person that you are working through right now? And you don't have to say anything, if you want to, you can. But put it into your journal. What are you feeling? You can continue writing if you're writing. You want to honor what you're experiencing, but you do not want to attach or label yourself to that feeling. And that looks like, I am mad. I am upset. I am is the most potent and powerful words that the divine responds to, that your nervous system or let's take it back, that your subconscious mind remembers, and that your nervous system integrates. So if you're constantly saying, I am upset, like I'm just speaking in an example, but I'm feeling the shift of my own energy shifting. Okay. You have to be really conscious not to damn yourself. You can honor yourself, you can feel, but you cannot damn yourself by putting the most potent words first, followed by a lower vibration frequency. That's how people fuck themselves all day, every day. Okay. I feel is honoring, but it's not really, nailing the nail into the coffin. The next thing you want to do is, where do you feel it in your body? The goal in holding space for yourself is to run into your body and befriend the sensations in your body. This allows healing to take place immediately. Hold on to that place in the body and breathe into it. And ask the body how it wants to be released. And this is where you need to take your time. This is where patience comes through. I learned, and you can write, I'll give you a few minutes to write if you're flowing with me. So where do you feel it in your body? Okay. So Hannah, put this on your to-do list. I want you to Google a list of words that provoke emotion, or emotional word list. I don't know if, let me see. Yeah, here we go. The emotion chart. Told you I got a fucking answer for everything. I've been waiting for you, Hannah, all day, every day. I got this. So yes, this is a words of emotion. That's what you're going to type into Google, because that's completely fine. Hey, let's add something to this masterclass. Thank you, Hannah. Words of emotion, because what three basic emotions that we're taught: anger, sadness, and maybe love. Anger, sadness, betrayal, maybe love. That's the four things. Okay. So it's kind of like we're subconsciously training ourselves to only identify with those emotions when there's a list of 100 words. So when clients cannot define how they're really feeling, I give them the 100 words of emotion, and the first word jumps right out. And it's like you feel better than worse, because you're able to identify with something that you've been trying to put your finger on, and then it just sparks healing. It just sparks, oh God, thank God. Oh, I'm done. So let me know if that helps you. So where do you feel it in your body? So I don't know if any of you guys know, in 2019, I was diagnosed with PMDD. Not a fucking fan. Do not suggest it to nobody. And I started to notice that she's kind of coming back just a little bit. And I had a hysterectomy. But we're working through that. And that's where my holding space capabilities for myself kicked it up a notch, because at the time I was, and this is nobody's doing of my own. It was part of the path, so I can, tell others now that I was just using spirituality to suppress or hurry up and bypass what we're doing so I can go on and change the world. You know what I'm saying? And that caused my PMDD to get worse. And so I started reading Buddha texts, Radical Acceptance by Tara. I can't remember her last name, but Tara Brach. She mixes down to earth approaches in Buddhism, and she told a story about Mara. And Mara is this big boogeyman who invokes a lot of fear inside of the body. And the Chinese man was running, and the Mara was just getting bigger. And the Chinese man went to a spiritual teacher, and he's like, "Yo, what do I do?" And the spiritual teacher was like, "Invite Mara for tea." And he's like, "Oh my God, are you sure about that?" And he's like, "Yeah, invite her for tea." And I'm just giving you a short version. There's more to it. But anyway, long story short, he finally invites Mara to tea, and she pulls out all of her tactics. Big scary teeth, blood, darkness, really tries to scare him. And the Chinese man does not move. And he says, "Would you like some tea?" And so she softened. She came into this little girl. And when I was experiencing a doubt about a PMDD, instead of just, sprinkling some salt and chanting and blah, 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 I invited that PMDD in by feeling her in my body. And it was one of the most beautiful journeys I will never, ever forget. We were by a fireplace, and it was just this broken girl who's been trying to get my attention. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to brush her hair and I'm going to fix her food. And it was just, like I can feel it. Like it was a very powerful. And then once I spent time holding space for myself and really allowing myself to feel that emotion in my body, I went on like a little ceremony inside. I envisioned it. And I stopped hurting for like 2 days. But that the moral of the story is, feel it in your body. Okay. And ask, how does this energy wish to be released and transmuted? Part of your existence here on this plane is remembering how to transmute and alkalinize, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only recalibrated, only transmuted, and only alkalinized. So we really can't get rid of a negative emotion, but what we can do is transmute it. So that's another reason why you need to learn how to hold space, so you can manipulate energy. Okay. Be curious when holding space, when you are dissecting this experience. If you happen to be doing it right now, be curious and be a student. What is this situation trying to teach me about myself and others? What do I need? And what does this other person need? Because at the end of the day, these people that use, abuse, and trigger and activate us, they are really a reflection of what we are not dealing with inside. They are a reflection of how we are not doing something, like communicating or knowing our boundaries or our intentions or whatever. This is why holding space is important, so you can know yourself and what you're not doing. And this creates an opportunity to tweak something? How can I give it to them, and how can I give it to myself? And, giving it to them. Now, if you're this type of person, cool. Do I recommend it? Not really, because that's a whole nother conversation. Um, unless you're married, and that comes with fine tape. But giving to people does not mean, hey, I'm going to go out and buy them flowers and a box of chocolates. Giving to them means space. Giving to them means distance. Giving to them means prayer, forgiveness, wisdom, understanding. I can't remember. I need to look up the verse in the Course in Miracles, because I had this person in Germany, where I'm just going to keep it real. I was going to beat the bricks off this bitch because I was not the one. I was like, what is going on? And this is before I was, strengthening. I was becoming a master. Okay. And I opened up my Course in Miracles because I was about to throw this book at her. I was like, I think I was about to start my period. Anyway, and I can't remember what the verse said, but it kind of feels like, they're on their spiritual quest too, man. The only difference between you and them is that your commitment, because it's your commitment that really establishes your awareness and your consciousness and your self-reliance. They're just going about it in a different way. And can it be reckless? Yeah. So what do I need to give to them? Space. What do I need to give to myself? Space. Right? This is a really important question that came through for me last week, when I was feeling a little razzled-dazzled. What am I neglecting? So a lot of people, they want to hold space. They want to heal. They just don't know what questions to ask. So here's some basic questions that you can ask to get your to start free writing. And then the rest will flow through. You just need to get a little warmed up. And if you don't have the answers, if you don't know the answers, that's cool. Because now we're practicing non-striving. Now we're practicing non-judgment. Can I hold space for myself with doing nothing and not beat myself up for it? Can I practice patience, acceptance, things of that nature? Right? All right. We're looking here. So the sequence has been presented in this masterclass, which is opening space energetically by calling in your spiritual guidance, and prayer and protection and all those good things, gratitude. Then you can move your body, you can breathe. Which reminds me, I'm glad that you brought that out, because this really stands out, that needs to be said right now. So when we hold space for ourselves, the first thing that let's change the subject just a little bit. In meditation, we just sit there. Right? And that journey can look different for everybody. Okay. The goal is not to silence the mind. It's just to be simply present with absolutely everything and just really establish a deep connection to your breath. But when we go into meditation, our spines are erect, our hands in some type of mudra. We're in meditation, right? What we're doing is we are going into masculine energy. I'm pretty sure not all of you, but most of you are operating from masculine energy. What we need to be doing instead is first tapping into the feminine energy. And so how do we do that? We tap into the feminine energy by connecting through intuitive dance. When we are connecting through intuitive dance, we are moving and you're connecting with every breath to every movement. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're moving, you're manipulating, you're releasing, you're cultivating intuitive dance movements. And intuitive dance is just moving to the sound of your own drum or to the sound of the Spotify playlist that will be listed in the membership portion of every masterclass. So we're tapping into that feminine, and what we're doing is also hindsight, getting into our container and wearing out the mind. Once we feel exhausted of that energy, the divine feminine now surrenders and lets go into the divine masculine energy, where now we're inside of our container, we're in our masculine energy. And this is where we practice being. And that's where things just change. Things change. Okay. So I hope that resonated with you. And like I said, the whole path is laid down in this masterclass. Okay, so when we are dealing with an experience that involves other people, holding space is all about seeing things from a higher perspective, right? And here's some key things to help you see things from a higher perspective. Feelings are not always facts, especially when we lack the energetic maintenance to cleanse your energy. Now, our feelings do serve a purpose, but we have to establish a practice to cleanse and to sit with your own feelings, which is your emotions, which is energy in motion, right? So how can we cleanse our energy? Well, we can, practice by holding space for ourselves and really connecting and identifying how we are feeling, right? And then transmuting that or bringing it up into the emotional guidance scale. The other thing we can do is self-Reiki treatments. If you are on my YouTube and Instagram, okay, I took it off my Instagram, the tab, but on my YouTube, I offer a very short miniature bite-sized my masterclass teaching you how to do self-Reiki treatments. Reiki is a energetic modality, and I am working very feverishly to host a Reiki course level 1, where I activate the symbols within your body to amplify that Reiki energy. So Reiki energy is a really, really good one. Is there anything else? Emotional freedom tapping is really good. It's where you tap the I forget the word, the energies in your body. You're tapping certain places. And there was one more. Oh, just getting up and moving. That's how you can cleanse your energy. Getting up and moving, whether it's going outside for a walk or run, riding your bike, dancing, just shaking. Shaking is a really, really good one. Then we have to become a witness. And becoming a witness, and this has really evolved for me, becoming a witness is a little bit of a dash of dissociation. Just a healthy balance of disassociation is really, really, really good, in my opinion. because it helps us not get too attached to what we're feeling, which is going to help us see things from all levels. So, where's my chronic disassociators at? I used to be one. I finally found balance in that. If I disassociate, I'm saving lives. Okay. I just saved your life. You're welcome. I have a lot of anger that runs through my human design, and I'm a fire sign in my moon. And after your 35s, you really start growing into your moon sign, which is your authentic self. And I'm a fire sign. So I no longer try to transmute it. It's just who I am. What's important is I don't spew that and use it for the highest good. I like to envision the story or the experience or conflict as if I'm watching a Lifetime movie. This is how I become a witness when I go to my space. I watch all the characters, including myself, as if I'm watching a movie, and watching this movie, like I see all different perspectives. Does that make sense? And it just allows me to be a witness to everybody, because everybody is carrying trauma. Everybody is carrying drama. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some genuine bad guys out there. They are. Okay. But, especially when it comes to healing childhood trauma, in the beginning, we have to understand that everybody was doing the best they can with what they got. We have to understand that they are suffering too. And again, what makes y'all stand out is that you're willing and committed. Does that help? Does that make sense? And no, this goes into, it's always not about you. When you're holding space for yourself and inviting the divine wisdom, it allows us to see that other people's actions are not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of how they treat themselves, which triggered me to read you a beautiful passage that I carried with me, and it's in my book, Reclaiming Your True Identity. It says, when we are seeing things from a higher perspective, when we have like this movie Lifetime, when we're watching this Lifetime movie, in order to relinquish our non-serving inner stories about people, like that person's trash or whatever, if you are willing to look at another person's behavior toward you as a reflection of the state of their relationship with themselves, rather than a statement about your value as a person, then you will, over a period of time, cease to react at all. If you're willing to look at another person's behavior toward you as a reflection of the state of their relationship, so you just see the reason why they're treating you like this, it's because they're treating themselves like this. This is the type of relationship that they have with themselves. This has nothing to do with you. Then you will, rather than a statement about your value and what you bring to the table as a person, then you will see, then over a period of time, you will cease to react at all. You won't even become triggered anymore, because this has nothing to do with me. And I love you, I respect you, but and if you need support, because a lot of people that we deal with that just are unconscious with their energy, those are the ones that don't ask for help because they've been burned by the helpful, and they just have this idea that they can do it all on themselves, and we can see how that's working out for them, right? All right. All right. So after this masterclass, the next thing that we're going to move into, if you guys decide to follow along, is healing the story. And this is going to, once again, now that's going to be a in movement class. We're going to be working through that in real time. I don't care who you are, right? And I don't know if you guys are moving through this right now. But pay attention to the story that you are telling yourself while holding space. This isn't about blame, guilt, shame, or any low vibrational, non-serving thought that is connected to a story that you have been telling yourself since the dawn of time. If you begin to feel that way, call in your higher power even more. Have massive faith in that even more, and really breathe in that violet flame. Breathe in that golden light. Breathe in that white light. And recognize that you have chosen wrongly. And this leads to, and I'm telling you, like, there's so many things regarding this. But choosing, there's this what's called the split mind, the ego mind and the Christ consciousness mind. Christ consciousness mind only thinks high, powerful, liberating, love-making thoughts. The ego mind, thinks about separation and, me and you and all those things, right? And so it is important to recognize when we have chosen a low vibrational thought, that means somewhere unconsciously you have chosen the wrong brain to operate at. Okay. And when you recognize that thought, then you breathe into it. And I noticed I have chosen wrongly. And I call in the divine wisdom of the highest of most high divine light. For me, it's God. I'm clinging to God and Jesus at this point. You know what I'm saying? I forgive myself for choosing wrongly. And there's a whole practice around that, but that's what I do. Okay. And I invite you to do the same thing. And the energy was shift. The energy was shift. By doing this, you're seeing that the divine energy sees or feels instead of what the false self sees or feels. When you are in the presence of your higher power, only true love exists. Faults are a distraction from what is real. It really, really is. And I want to talk more about this later. We can't now. But we really need to start talking about love and darkness instead of love and light. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out a way how to share that message. But at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. My God tells me that love is the only thing that exists, because that is the only thing that is real. And anything outside of that, it is a distraction, and it is a collective, it is the thoughts of the collective that is keeping that distraction alive. Because how do we keep it alive? By constantly putting our 2 cents in there and adding to the fire instead of being solution oriented. In love, solutions happen. It's not bypassing. It's not, it's just so, it's not woo woo. It is spiritual driven action to shift the collective. Okay. If you find yourself constantly returning to a non-serving inner story or thought, this is your cue to get up and move. Intuitive dance, connection to the breath. It's a beautiful somatic practice to move energy. And the intention is to get the container, the body, out of the headspace. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's get up and move real quick. We need to get up. So everybody get up. I'm getting up. Oh, sorry. I think I'm getting older, guys, and I'm just a little bit in denial. But it's all good because it's crone energy. So let's all get up real quick. All right. So we're going to get up because we've been sitting for way too long. And everybody get up. I don't care. Do this for yourself. Your higher self will thank you. All right. So everybody get up. And we are going to bounce up and down, starting, we're just bringing the heels quickly off the mat or off the floor. So we're moving up and down. The only thing that should be coming up and down is your heels, okay? And now we're gonna take a deep breath in and exhale out. Deep breath in and exhale out. And now we're gonna add our arms and then we're gonna lift our feet. All right, shake our arms, move our necks. We're just really recalibrating the nervous system, recalibrating our energy. Like we took in a lot today. All right, you can alternate those knees. All right, I'm just gonna shake. Let's bring our hands into the top of our crown chakra and just give ourselves a nice little cranial therapy right here. Has anybody done cranial therapy before? I want to get certified. I love it. Basically, you're stimulating certain meridians in the brain. So this is a good time to practice your intuition. This is how I practice my intuition, because there's just something when you start doing cranial therapy that your whole brain is like, oh my gosh, give me more. So follow that sensation. Okay, ears when you're ready, and just breathe. Nice little neck massage. Okay, and just follow your intuition, follow your body at this point. Now the body's telling you, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. Once you've done that, let's place your left hand over your heart and your other hand at your room space, and let's take a deep collective breath together of the violet flame of Saint Germain and Lady Portia, which is the beautiful violet and white light in your third eye, to breathe them in. Holding that breath and then exhale out. Spend that breath. Don't take a breath yet, unless you're pregnant. Then breathe and then exhale out. Inhale. Holding that breath and then exhaling out. Gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna take a little potty break too. So just give me like a few moments, all right? And if you guys are working with me for real time, finish up any work that needs to be done, okay? Okay, cool. All right. How's everybody feeling? Does everybody feel safe? Does everybody feel like they're getting what they need? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Awesome. Cool stuff. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so when we're holding space for ourselves and when we are exploring a experience or a trigger or a healing, and the intention is to ask those questions and journal all of that down. Okay, we're writing, and especially the good and the bad, right? We're putting it all on paper, state how you feel. Once we have all of that information, first and foremost, give gratitude towards yourself, give gratitude towards the divine and the energies that be that's supporting you. And now this is where the medicine comes from. What did you learn from this experience? Okay. What needs to be embodied? And, is it, better communication, better boundaries, better intentions, more clarity? Somebody's making, I've been smelling fried chicken. Anyway, okay, so what needs to be really embodied? And it doesn't have to be like, boundaries and shit. It can be chilling the fuck out and not really caring, or it can be practicing grace and compassion towards yourself. It can be, how can I practice gratitude? What needs, maybe gratitude needs to be embodied, It's these simplest things. And a lot of us are seeking this, lightning fast aha moment. Like we're setting such high expectations for the divine, and the divine's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Let's master discipline. Let's embody commitment. Let's embody a practice of your own understanding, and how can you integrate and practice this? So this is where a lot of people mess up. And I'm one of those people, or, I am one of those people. I mess up, but I used to be real bad. But it's the integration part. It's the part that needs to be embodied. Does that make sense? Like integration and embodied. Well, let's go at this in a different way. Integration is practicing the wisdom that you've gotten from the healing or experience. Okay. So you are practicing. And once you commit to that simple practice of gratitude or breath connection, or not gaslighting yourself or beating yourself up, then what is happening is you have embodied it when it just comes second nature. It's a part of your true identity. It's always been part of your true identity. You just have to remove the barriers to get to that truth that lives inside of you. Does that make sense? And so how can you practice the things that came through for you? And it's really simple. And it's really simple it just takes commitment. It really takes commitment. There's no day off in personal and spiritual journey of development. There's none. Now, I kind of take that back. You could check out for a minute. Like I check out for a second because the shit's just too much sometimes, like I can't be the only one that's got some fucking common sense here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the club because I can't right now, so you can kind of check out, but just come back because the world needs us. Okay. So what's the big idea when we come to a space for healing and for your spiritual and personal development with the intention to find peace and understanding? And that means that you have to be willing to seek the solution in your experience. Okay, holding space is not, beating yourself up and hating the world and saying I'm a horrible person and I'm so stuck and stagnant. It's really, when you invite the divine, you're inviting a spiritual solution. You're asking for a solution. You're shifting your energy from a victim mindset into a miracle mindset. Okay. And how can I share this story in a way that will invite others to their own liberation? As women, one of your spiritual gifts is to share your medicine through the art of storytelling. Storytelling connects us to one another, and it gives us hope to overcome a experience. Also, you are paving a path for others to follow with your own modalities in healing. Guys, like I'm teaching you the things that I have learned on my spiritual quest, and I'm doing it through storytelling. I've probably hit every single block that most of you have too, but there's stories that I only tell intimately, and there's stories that I broadcast to the world. And I feel like each human goes through the same spiritual quest. It might be a different story, but it's all the same feelings: fear, doubt, shame, confusion, love, whatever. And we have to be courageous and brave to share those stories in a way that really leaves an impact and also a legacy. A legacy is telling people, showing people how it's done. And especially in the age of the Piscean age, because the patriarchy had their turn. Now it's fucking ours. And that's why, one, you have to take this work seriously, because yeah, it's for you too, but it's for your family. It's for the whole entire collective. And there are some that have a bigger calling than others, and that's okay. Okay. Is her name Maya Angelou? Is it Maya Angelou? Someone correct me. Is it Maya Angelou? Okay, cool. This was the quote by Maya Angelou that kicked me in the pants. And that's inspired to commit to holding myself to a practice, which is holding space, and write this book, and I can tell a story. She said, girl, and I'm paraphrasing, do not go to the grave with a story inside of you. And all of us have these stories inside of you, and they're not meant to be taken to the grave. They're not. And so this circles it back around to trauma bonding and trauma dumping. into medicinal, because holding space for yourself, that's how you learn how to craft your story. Does that make sense? All right. So go over your journal answers and pull the lessons you need to apply in your life. Oh, we got a practice coming up. You guys, how's everybody doing on time? We've got like maybe another 20 minutes. I just wanted to honor everybody's time. We have a beautiful practice coming up. So tell me, everybody, how's their time doing? I really need to know. Depending on the answers, I will cut the practice. So go over your journal answers and pull the lessons. Pull the lessons that you need to apply, integrate, practice, and embody. Be sure you have these highlighted. These are spiritual lessons to help you get closer to your authentic truth and help raise the vibrations within you and around you. Okay, cool. All right, because this one. All right, so once we've gotten the lessons, the next thing that we need to do is forgive. There's a beautiful course. There's a beautiful verse in the Course in Miracles that says, forgiveness is my function. Forgiveness is your function. I don't care who you are, because I know who you are. And I believe in that with you, whether you believe it or not. Forgiveness is your function simply because the divine has created you in his likeness and in his image. He did not make you in lack. He did not say, I'm going to forgive, but she's not. You are an extension of the divine. So whatever the divine is gifted with, homegirl, homeboy, you're gifted with it too. We believe that we're not gifted with those things because of trauma and all that other stuff, right? So as a living flesh of the divine in motion, you can command and exercise the same love frequency that is freely given to you. When you ask forgiveness from the divine, you are asking forgiveness from yourself. Forgiveness begins as a self-practice, an energy that you have to experience and become overflowing with. When was the last time you guys forgiven yourself? I'm curious, be honest. From this energy, it transmutes into the energy of grace and compassion. And it is a constant reminder that you are literally a child walking this sacred path. So we must always remain curious, open, willing, and committed to a forgiveness practice. When you have embodied this concept, then you will ease into extending this forgiveness to others who have trespassed against you. Forgiveness does not mean that you have forgotten. It doesn't mean that you're allowing certain people, places, things, and ideas back into your life. I know for me, forgiveness sets me free from their karmic lines. Because when we get into a tussle, or, if I have an experience that needs healing and it involves other people, what is happening is I am now congruent of their karmic lines. I'm good. No, thank you, ma'am. No, thank you, sir. Nope. I'm going to release myself from this, and I'm going to forgive myself, and I'm going to forgive you. So I don't have to be attached to this, because I have no business being over there. Okay. So it sets me free from karmic lines that they have entangled themselves in. It means that I see their flaws and I'm able to give grace and compassion instead of bitterness and resentment. And the beautiful way that we can do this is through the Ho'oponopono practice, which is a Hawaiian mantra studied. No, that's that's Madam Mataka. Hold on, I want to give credit where credit is due. If you gave your life to love, and so will I. God of your promise. Gosh, I can't remember what their names are, but this woman, it was originated from a woman, and it is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And she worked with this mantra for a very long time. And here we go. Okay, the Ho'oponopono mantra or prayer practice was created by the Hawaiian healer Morna Nalo Maku Si Simeona. In an interview, she says the main purpose of this practice is to discover the divinity within yourself. It is developing a relationship with the divinity, and you begin the process of freeing yourself from the past. You begin to recreate your DNA with positive emotions dwelling within you, thereby changing your reality on the outside. The translation of this mantra means to make right. So glad that I took my time because it slaps. And we're making things right by doubly for ourselves and for those who have caused our wounds. This practice has led to radical miracles like those documented by the Hawaiian doctor, Dr. Hugh Lin. Dr. Hugh Lin conducted a scientific study using the pure power of this mantra in a ward of criminally insane patients. Doctors before him have tried various methods to limit the violent and destructive behaviors of these patients, but nothing seemed to work. In fact, they were getting worse. So without meeting these patients, he would look at their charts and he would say the Ho'oponopono. And I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. He did this for an X amount of months at an X amount of time. And the criminally insane patients, there were some of them that got to be released because they were healed. And with the other patients, they were healed. Like the shit works, okay? The best way that I like to use this practice is through looking in a mirror, or you can look in a mirror, and please don't skip this step. It's really important. It's, you know what? Because of time. I know we have time. I'm just gonna put it, I'm just gonna email me. If you came to this master class, you know how to get in touch with me and I will send you this particular song. It fucking slaps. So what I like to do with my clients, I curate Spotify playlists to match their intentions. And, music holds a frequency, it holds the vibration. And it helps remind us and it invokes the divine within us and around us. And so this particular song is the Ho'oponopono. I also have a meditation on YouTube on the Ho'oponopono. So if you're looking for guided, that's a 30 minute practice. And if you're short on time, I believe this song is like, 7 minutes. Okay. So I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Yes. Ho'oponopono. Yes, Katrina Lilly and the family band. Mhm. And that's an MP3. That particular one that you heard, it's not Spotify. That is a special recording. All right, let's see what's coming up here next. You can also envision a healing light visualization and really focus on bringing that light into the areas that need love and light right now. Okay. And so you can just, think of a golden light, a white light, a violet flame light, just ask the divine what healing color wishes to come through today. And I will say that, if you get black, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay. So don't be scared of black, and you'll feel it. Like, don't see black and think, oh my gosh, this is the devil. No, let's see how this black feels in our container. How does it feel? Because to me, black is not a negative color. To me, black is a protective color. It wards off people's bullshit. And I'm going to tell myself, if I'm wearing black, I'm protecting my energy. I'm protecting my energy. Okay. And here's a beautiful mantra that you can use. And again, you're just envisioning the light, and just do what we did earlier. Just take the light into all of your primary energy centers. Okay. All right. So this leads me into, which I'm really, really excited about. That's why I had all these colors. So here recently, some of you have found me through a viral video that I created last month. And the funny thing is, right before I created that video, I just defined who I wanted to work with. I defined clearly who I was calling in to coach and to sit in my intensive care one-on-one or one-on-two plant medicine ceremonies. And okay, this is what I'm calling in. And then I really made a TikTok video, storytelling. I told you the things that I have experienced in my spiritual awakening that nobody fucking told me about. Bro, I was on Google every night. I didn't have nobody. I had nobody. And then the people that I thought were it, they it wasn't in alignment. Now that doesn't say, with Guru Jagat or Gabby Bernstein, Raw Goddess, the ancient people, like they're here, but they're so far away. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I have this mindset of, God told me, yeah, follow these people, loosely follow these people, but you follow me, you answer to me. And so, that was my mindset. Anyway, and it just created a beautiful people coming out of woodworks. And these people were really looking for people or for somebody to help them. And I've been working on this for a while, and I'm like, wow, I never thought I would be talking about spiritual awakening or whatever, but I have so much content revolving around that, like personally, I have evolved in my personal journey. Now I'm talking about, like, I'm studying Carl Jung and how to climax really hard on mushrooms, so that's where my mind goes. But God has been really taken me to a space where no, people really need true guidance. People really need your help. And then he showed me people that really don't give a damn. He showed me people that's misleading these people and just taking their money and just all kinds of things. And so I was trying to figure out a way to, what people really want right now is a mentor that gives a damn about them, and a community, a like-minded community where we could connect with. And so I found a beautiful program called Mighty Networks, and that's where the Healer's Nest Digital Sanctuary will it goes live today. It is a community-based platform. It is a soul-centered platform, and it is true divine help and support through your healing and spiritual awakening and personal and spiritual evolution. Because there's, I don't want you getting stuck in the vicious cycle of healing. So, the monthly energy exchange is $33 plus tax, which, if you sign up today, it's going to be $33 because I have to pay for the tax thing. So my free trial went out yesterday. So today it will be $33. And then if you decide that the Healer's Nest platform is for you, then it will be $33 plus tax, right? So in your membership, you will be getting spiritual healing and teaching topics to give you a solid path and true wisdom that you can make your own. Learning how to hold space is, that kind of concept. It's going to be a little bit more cut down, maybe, but it's going to be, we're just going to keep building on that. What it's going to follow is, connecting to the divine and establishing a relationship with the ego, and then dissecting the story that we tell ourselves. And it's just this whole entire thing. It's not going to be about crystals and woo woo and moon cycles just yet. You have to master the basics first, right? And so I share paths and solid wisdom. I have tons of stuff doing that, including engaging content such as journal prompts. And then we're going to do monthly live coaching calls to address questions, to share wisdom, and to receive guidance on your sacred path. I think that's pretty cool. I just started charging $197 yesterday, and people are paying $197 to sit with me, because that's how much value that I really do give. And that's how I really do care. I really treat everybody's spiritual evolutions as my own. So if we can do it in a community base, it's going to make it accessible for everybody, but also my energetic responsibilities are being taken care of too. And I love hearing feedback. I love hearing, and I love asking, and I love cheering. It's something that really does light me up. So we'll do that once a month. We're going to be doing bi-monthly. That means twice a month. I'm going to be posting workouts, meditations. I don't know about energy healing. I'm working on that. Yoga practices, and then we're going to be doing what is called power hours. So let's talk about power hours just a little bit. So right now we're going to have to start off as one, and let me be very transparent. We're not going to get all this today. Okay. We're not going to get all this next week. We're not going to get all of this in 2 weeks. We got a holiday coming up. I have a plant medicine retreat coming up. I have coaching clients that I have to take care of. However, that does not mean that you're going to pay $33 and just get this masterclass. I have a strategic plan to start rolling these things out. And so I'm asking for grace. And as I'm pushing this through, hopefully by the next month or the following month, we will, do. You see what I'm saying? There is an option for me to go live. So that's how I'm going to be able to show up and ask for holding you accountability. And here's a quick practice. I'm not asking my clients to go hard. I'm asking my clients to stay consistent. To me, consistency is at least 3 days a week, boo-boo. So I'm going to at least show up 3. I'm going to give you something that's bite size, and you'll be amazed how that little bit of something makes you crave for more. All right. So the power hours, that means we will have a scheduled day where we come into a Zoom-like container and we are focused on something for 2 hours, whether it is, you're reading, you're journaling, maybe that's your practice, maybe that's your business, maybe that's getting clear on personal and spiritual development, whatever it is that you intend to do for those 2 hours, we're all freaking doing it together, because I feel like, we just need a community to help hold each other accountable. One, I'm paying $33 a month, and 2, I've got 100 other friends that I've been asking for to hold space like this, right? Monthly hangouts, that will be eventually rolling out very, very sooner, not sooner, but later. Okay. Monthly hangouts where we just, drink coffee or drink tea and fuck around. I don't know. I like it. We'll roll with it. You'll get first dibs on retreats. I'm going to be hosting some Reiki and Kundalini yoga retreats next year. And then the ones that are intensive and more intimate is the plant medicine retreats. My idea is to start with my community first. I know my community. I know who's putting into the work. I know who's showing up. Those are the people that I prefer to ceremony and plant medicines. I don't feel safe marketing on the internet for my plant medicine offerings. I don't feel safe because there's too much, there's too many risks involved, and I don't want to do that. So far, except for one, I have worked with clients, and clients will always take priority. And so when you come into the Healer's Nest Digital Sanctuary, you become a client and you become a priority for the fun stuff. It's kind of fun. Depends. Discounts on merchandise and one-on-one coaching sessions, and a banging community with a like-minded souls where who are walking with you on this path. So I'm going to show you what this community looks like real quick, and then we will be wrapping it up. I just want to show you what it looks like. Can you guys? I'm pretty sure you guys can see this. Yeah. All right, so this is the main page, and I will post the link. Let me go ahead and copy it first. All right, so here's the whole deal right here, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I went in, so you can go ahead and put your number in here. I would suggest starting on your browser or on a computer first, so you can put the app here. Because it does come with a text, not text, it does come with an app. Okay. So text the app first, then choose your plan and sign up. But I'm going to sign in real quick. And I love this so freaking much because it's very Facebook-like. All right. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like on the app because I just learned how to do that. All right, so this is what it looks like on the computer, and it's very Facebook-like. So if you just want to come in here and share your daily motivation and empower others, you can absolutely do that. Okay. And then when you first come in, you'll see a little list of things to do. I have things in place for you to look at. And here's this question right here goes into how to hold space masterclass. So just to spark an invitation, conversation. All right. So it's very Facebook-like. And when you first come in, you'll see the community guidelines and all that good stuff. The beautiful thing that I love is the members part. So this is where everybody becomes a member, and you can find people within your community. All right. So, I'm inviting you, and I really want you to encourage you to invite others so we can find each other. And my vision is that once we find each other and we feel comfortable and safe, and we have the understanding know-how, then we can start curating our own meetups in those particular cities or whatever. Does that make sense? This is where all the master classes are going to be. So after today, the master class will go into here, and the video will come into here. And then I'll be adding the Spotify playlist, that MP3, and that PDF. Yeah. So you will always come to this. And now, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you will come into this feed, which is separate from the main feed. And this is where you ask your questions. And then once I see your questions, I'm going to take time out for my day and go live, tag you, and answer that question for you. Does that make sense? All right. Back to the network. And then let's see here. Let's go back to discovery. So yeah, this is, and then this is where I'm going to post blogs, upcoming events. So we're going to have a group yoga session next Saturday. These are the upcoming master classes, members near you. And then these are optional things that you can get. All right. So now that you see what that looks like, I want you to see it on, what am I doing? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's too much work. I don't have time for all that. But anyway, I didn't know I had to do all that. But there is a app. So there is an app that you can download. And again, it's very Facebook-esque. I'm a huge fan because I can't with Facebook. I can't deal with social media anymore. So I'm really trying to cultivate my people so we can kick rocks, okay, off the internet, because it's all ratchet. Am I the only one that thinks that? Mine is a little bit too real. All right. Present. All right. So yeah, I will go ahead and post that. You're welcome. You're welcome. And the masterclass will be in the digital sanctuary. So if you missed any of it, you can start at the beginning or where you left off. And thank you for your feedback very, very much. I'm glad that you got something. All right, so let's go ahead and close this space. Once you have gotten the lesson, the healing, the forgiveness of your own defined peace, and you've practiced time and patience and non-striving and non-judgment, all of those good things. And most importantly, once you have forgiven yourself, and when you are ready, no pressure, forgiven others, you want to thank your spiritual team for guiding you and protecting you. And be sure to close your crown chakra. Be sure to close your crown chakra, guys, because when you're opening space and calling in divine guidance, you're opening that crown chakra, you're pulling that energy in, so you're allowing that energy to create like this infinity 8 motion inside of you. And then we're like, okay, cool, done. And then we walk outside energetically vulnerable with our crown chakras open. Like, okay, cool, here we are. Right? All right, so be sure to close your crown chakra, and you could just envision it, a swirl closing it. And be sure to ground yourself through movement, through connecting to nature, through stomping, through shaking, taking a shower, drinking water, all right, drinking water, or whatever else your higher self needs. I know some people, this is a beautiful time for creativity. This is a beautiful time for creativity, because a healing space, holding energetic space for yourself can be for healing, for creativity. You are creating, you're crafting a story to an extent, you know. All right. So let's close space. So let's all take a deep breath in through our nose. And exhale out. And we're just going to bring awareness to our heart space. And just going to notice and pay attention to what's going on in that area. And whatever sensation or emotion or feeling that's coming through for you right now, know exactly that is exactly where you need to be. You don't have to push against it. You don't have to figure it out. And if it feels good, it feels like it's in alignment, you do not have to go out and share it right now. Treat it as sacred. It is very sacred to you, so hold on to it. We bow our heads inwards and we come to the divine to say thank you. Thank you for your divine love. Thank you for your divine protection. Thank you for your divine wisdom. Thank you for your divine resources and bringing in the people that truly need support. Thank you for working through them. Thank you for allowing me to be a witness to their miracles. Thank you for allowing me to be the vessel, the straw, for you to work fully in order to prick the hearts and the higher minds of their own true existence. And I pray that no matter what, that they get or they have what they need to continue on this sacred quest. And I just say thank you, thank you, thank you to Mother Gaia for anchoring and protecting this energy, for reminding us how beautiful and special and sacred we are. We thank you to Lady Portia and Saint Germain for your beautiful violet flame light, releasing any stagnant energy and transmuting any energies that don't serve us in this sacred path. I give immense gratitude to each and every person that is coming in the past, present, and future. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for trusting me and for allowing me to share this wisdom with you guys. And thank you for the divine for trusting me with this task. I ask for continued guidance and protection for everyone involved. And may we walk this path with softness and with ease. And it is so. Alrighty then. All right, so this is the last two questions. I really invite you guys to listen for feedback. I would like to say that I do not wish to be praised. I do not wish to hear about how amazing I am and how beautiful I am and just how majestic I am, because I know that I am because the divine tells me so. So I don't need anything outside of myself validating that. Instead, I ask that you bring all of that energy to yourself and to give glory to the divine, because that's who's running the show here, not me. I got a hood mentality. Like, we can do this one or two ways, you know, and that's just me being real. But the divine is what's coming through for you. The divine is what's teaching you right now. I just do it in my way. So take that energy towards yourself. Okay. How safe or certain do you feel about holding space for yourself, and what has shifted for you? If you want to slow down. God of your promise. Yes. Commit. That will make or break you. It will make or break you. Trust and believe that. And there's when you accidentally awaken, or when you consciously awaken, you can't have one foot right here and the other foot out of the other. You can't have one shoe in and you can only worship one master. So which one are you going to commit to? All right. So I believe that is it for today. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. All right. So I want to take a deep bow to everyone that came to this masterclass. I take a deep bow to your time and to your devotion and to your spiritual and personal evolution. I thank you so much for trusting the Healer's Nest. Be sure to subscribe on Instagram, the podcast. I have all types of things sprinkled all over the internet to support you. I invite you to really sit and share with others at least the monthly mentorship. I really believe it's going to be something absolutely beautiful and powerful for everybody. I have some really beautiful offerings in store. And again, thank you so very much. Be sure to email me for that MP3 for the ones that were here. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I will be addressing them inside of the membership. So if you want to go deeper, that is your place, that is your space to do that. All right. It has been an honor and privilege to be in this space with you. And I love each and every one of you. My name is Sarah Elizabeth, and thank you. Thank you.